LinkedIn presents.
Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development, where we share original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. We hope you join us often for practitioner-oriented content around all things related to leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with Human Capital Innovations Podcast. Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations Podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please leave a review. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. In this HCI podcast episode, my AI assistant Charlotte shares my recent Human Capital Leadership article, The Link Between Loneliness and Burnout, Strategies for Promoting Human Connection at Work.
The Link Between Loneliness and Burnout, Strategies for Promoting Human Connection at Work. I have seen firsthand the negative effects of burnout in the workplace. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. According to recent research, this condition is affecting 50% of people across professions. Burnout not only affects individuals but also organizations, leading to lower productivity, reduced engagement, and high turnover rates. In this article, I will discuss how companies can reduce burnout by promoting a workplace of empathy and inclusion, encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging. Research on the importance of human connection in preventing burnout. There is a growing amount of research that supports the importance of human connection in preventing burnout. A study published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that employees who had strong social support at work were less likely to experience burnout. The study also found that employees who had a sense of belonging at work were more engaged and had higher job satisfaction. Moreover, a study conducted by the Harvard Business Review found that employees who felt connected to their colleagues and had a sense of belonging at work were more productive, motivated, and engaged. The study also found that employees who felt isolated and disconnected were more likely to experience burnout and turnover. In addition, research has shown that social support can help individuals cope with stress and improve their mental health. A study published in the Journal of Health and Social Behavior found that individuals who had social support were less likely to experience depression and anxiety. Overall, these studies suggest that human connection and social support are critical to preventing burnout and improving employee well-being. By promoting a workplace of empathy and inclusion, encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging, companies can create a culture that supports their employees' mental health and well-being. The growing epidemic of loneliness at work and strategies to address it. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. According to recent research, this condition is affecting 50% of people across professions. Burnout not only affects individuals but also organizations, leading to lower productivity, reduced engagement, and high turnover rates. Experts and companies have struggled to figure out how to counter this growing level of burnout. Many recommendations focus on relieving stress, teaching mindfulness, or reducing workload, all of which treat burnout as an individual condition. However, it seems that the link between burnout and loneliness suggests that greater human connection at work may also be key to solving the burnout problem. Loneliness is not just an individual problem. It is a systemic issue that affects the entire organization. Leaders and managers can play a key role in helping people feel less lonely, and therefore, less burned out at work. They can promote a workplace of empathy and inclusion, encourage employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrate collective success that fosters a sense of belonging. Promoting a workplace of empathy and inclusion is critical to reducing loneliness and burnout. Leaders and managers can create a culture where people feel valued and respected, regardless of their backgrounds, beliefs, or experiences. They can encourage employees to share their stories and perspectives, listen actively, and show genuine interest in their well-being. They can also provide opportunities for employees to connect with each other, such as team building activities, mentoring programs, or social events. By creating a culture of empathy and inclusion, leaders and managers can help employees feel more connected to their colleagues and the organization as a whole. Encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support is another way to reduce loneliness and burnout. Leaders and managers can encourage employees to connect with each other, both professionally and personally. They can provide opportunities for employees to collaborate on projects, work in cross-functional teams, or participate in interest groups. They can also encourage employees to take breaks and socialize during the workday, such as having lunch together or taking a walk. By building these networks, employees can provide each other with emotional support, share their experiences, and reduce their sense of isolation. Celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging is also essential to reducing loneliness and burnout. Leaders and managers can recognize and celebrate the successes of the entire team, not just individual achievements. They can create a sense of shared purpose and identity that helps employees feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves. They can also encourage employees to participate in activities that promote a sense of community, such as volunteering, fundraising, or team building events. By celebrating collective success, leaders and managers can help employees feel more connected to their colleagues and the organization as a whole. Leaders and managers can play a critical role in reducing loneliness and burnout in the workplace. By promoting a workplace of empathy and inclusion, encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging, they can help employees feel more connected to their colleagues and the organization as a whole. This, in turn, can help reduce burnout, improve well-being, and increase productivity. Activities or programs that companies can implement to reduce loneliness and burnout. There are several activities and programs that companies can implement to reduce loneliness and burnout in the workplace. One effective strategy is to provide opportunities for employees to connect with each other, both professionally and personally. This can include team building activities, mentorship programs, or social events. Another strategy is to encourage employees to take breaks and socialize during the workday. This can include having lunch together, taking a walk, or participating in a group exercise class. Companies can also provide spaces for employees to relax and recharge, such as quiet rooms or meditation spaces. Additionally, companies can create support groups or employee resource groups that focus on specific topics, such as mental health, diversity and inclusion, or work-life balance. These groups can provide employees with a safe space to share their experiences, connect with colleagues who share similar interests or backgrounds, and receive emotional support. Finally, companies can provide opportunities for employees to give back to their communities through volunteering, philanthropy, or social impact initiatives. This can help employees feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves and increase their sense of purpose and meaning in the workplace. Overall, there are many activities and programs that companies can implement to reduce loneliness and burnout in the workplace. By creating a culture of empathy and inclusion, encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging, companies can improve employee well-being, engagement, and productivity. Examples of companies that have successfully implemented these strategies. Several companies have successfully implemented strategies to reduce loneliness and burnout in the workplace. One example is Google, which encourages employees to build networks and connect with each other through various activities, such as social events, interest groups, and employee resource groups. Google also provides opportunities for employees to give back to their communities through volunteering and philanthropy. Another example is Salesforce, which has a culture of giving back and celebrating collective success. Salesforce encourages employees to participate in volunteer events, and the company has a program that donates money to nonprofits for every hour an employee volunteers. Salesforce also celebrates collective success by recognizing and rewarding teams for their accomplishments, not just individual employees. A third example is Patagonia, which promotes a workplace of empathy and inclusion. Patagonia has a culture of environmental activism, which helps employees feel like they are part of something bigger than themselves. The company also encourages employees to take breaks and enjoy nature, which can help reduce stress and improve well-being. These companies have all successfully implemented strategies to reduce loneliness and burnout in the workplace. They have created cultures of empathy and inclusion, encouraged employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrated collective success that fosters a sense of belonging. These strategies have not only improved employee well-being but have also increased productivity and engagement, demonstrating that taking care of employees' mental health and well-being is critical to the success of the organization. Measuring the success of these programs. Measuring the success of these programs is critical to understanding their impact and making necessary adjustments. There are several ways that companies can measure the success of their initiatives to reduce loneliness and burnout in the workplace. One way is to conduct employee surveys to gather feedback on their experiences and perceptions of the workplace culture. These surveys can include questions related to employee engagement, sense of belonging, and well-being. Companies can use this feedback to understand the effectiveness of their programs and identify areas for improvement. Another way is to track key performance indicators, KPIs, related to employee well-being, such as absenteeism, turnover rates, and productivity. Companies can compare these metrics before and after implementing their programs to determine their impact on employee well-being and organizational performance. Additionally, companies can gather feedback from managers and team leaders to understand how their teams are responding to the programs. This feedback can include observations of team dynamics, changes in team productivity, and overall employee engagement. Finally, companies can conduct focus groups or interviews with employees to gather more in-depth feedback on their experiences with the programs. This can help companies understand the nuances of how the programs are affecting employees and identify potential areas for improvement. Overall, measuring the success of these programs is critical to understanding their impact and making necessary adjustments. By gathering feedback from employees, tracking KPIs, and gathering feedback from managers and team leaders, companies can ensure that their programs are effective and aligned with their overall goals and objectives. Conclusion. Reducing burnout in the workplace is critical to improving employee well-being, engagement, and productivity. By promoting a workplace of empathy and inclusion, encouraging employees to build networks that can provide emotional support, and celebrating collective success that fosters a sense of belonging, companies can create a culture that supports their employees' mental health and well-being. Measuring the success of these programs is critical to ensuring that they are effective and aligned with the organization's overall goals and objectives. By taking care of their employees' mental health and well-being, companies can create a positive and productive work environment that benefits everyone involved.
Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please, leave a review. Thank you for your support. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Human Capital Innovations podcast. I hope you stay healthy and safe and that you have a great week.